start my YouTube recording. Okay. Alright, let's jump right into it. Bellatrix, you are in your temple, and one of the town guardsmen will... here, dice... give me a d20, actually. Welcome back, Dom. $17. Ooh, I never got your perception scores. Let's do that now. Either message it to me or tell me aloud.
16.
16, okay, so you're gonna miss that.
15.
16 and 15, thank you. Dom, if you can message me your perception score, that'd be good. I have you closed right now. 16... 15... Okay. Alright, duly noted, thank you. So yeah, you're gonna miss it until someone taps you on the shoulder. One of the town guardsmen is there and says that Elder Maximilian has asked to speak with you specifically. And the cleric gives his blessing that you should go see what the man wants and report back to your temple. And what are you doing? Are
Going
you
as ordered.
Following his order? Okay, so you're gonna follow the guard. Garrick, give me a perception check as you're in your temple/shrine area. Okay, fuck, where was this? City's
Nat 20, I am deep in thought.
You're gonna be oblivious until someone taps you on the shoulder a little bit more, and then, you know, you turn around and, oh, hey, the same deal. The commanding priest at your thing will again ask you to accompany the guards, see what they want, and then report back to your temple. Right. For the record, these guards wear uniforms of blue and white leather underneath chainmail usually. You know, they've got the fur and stuff too, it's the north. Their shields have a pattern of a white diamond on a blue background. Yeah, I spent some time designing these, I'm happy. I'm proud of myself. Details!
A white diamond on a blue background.
Mm-hmm. I'm just waiting for someone to go all Pokemon and just kill every town guard they can find until they have every unique shield pattern. Amanda, let's see. So you are a cleric/magic user. Your god doesn't really do magic users, but it's allowed to be a cleric magic user of his. So odds are you're probably working on your magic user stuff because clerical training is easier. So your master probably got finished with you and, you know, it's like, okay, get the fuck out of my house, stop mooching off my food, go out into the world, learn magic. Goodbye. Except nicer. I haven't rolled up anything about them whatsoever, so we're just gonna go for the general, you're out on your own in the market one day, and give me a perception check, Amanda.
Nat 20. Aww.
Amanda, there is a duo of guards heading towards you at a casual pace. What are you doing? Let me check. One of the guards is male, and the other guard is female. Both are human. Okay, we're gonna call this 9:15. Okay, day 124. So I need to know what you're doing. Put it in actions or wherever.
Me or just him?
No, you're going with the guards, I know that. Amanda, it is currently morning time. Like 9:15 a.m. The morning started, people are starting to go out and about. You are perusing for alchemical ingredients or spell components when you notice these two guards walking towards you.
Or more magic dust.
Mm-hmm. And I need to know what you're doing at this time before I start advancing time. Amanda, you'll smile warmly at the guards and give me a charisma check. I'm curious.
And this is how she dies instantly.
Oh, huh. Well, you believe you smiled warmly at them, and they smile back. Morning, Miss. Elder Maximilian would like a word with you. Please come with us. It's not 14, it's 13. You're not helping your case, but go on.
Honesty, though.
No, points for honesty. Alright, following the guards. Okay, well, we'll take y'all, because this occurs at different points throughout the day, but by the time it is 9:45 in the morning, roughly, you all will head towards the major log house that is I guess the city offices, for want of a better word. It's set on top one of the tallest peaks of Toriel. And the various guards will bring you inside, basically one after the other. Like, there won't be a minute before the next group comes through. So, coming in first place, Amanda, you'll be the first one in. I'll describe what's happening right after. Garrick, you'll be second, which makes Bellatrix third. So, excuse me. You all will enter basically 1, 2, 3, like, within the same 3-minute space. Inside is a kind of a large room. I'm thinking the Companion's Hall from Yorvasker from Skyrim. I believe you both are familiar with it. A long central table that's kind of a hollow rectangle. There are guards present in the standard guard uniform. There are a couple of the elders in their traditional elder robes, which I did not think of a description for, so I cannot describe properly, but you recognize them. I'm assuming like long black robes, basically.
High quality brown robes.
Mm-hmm. Jewelry and so on and so forth were pleasant. Of note in the room is the quote-unquote elder himself, Maximilian, a man of maybe 40 years of age at most, with not a single streak of gray in his hair. No beard either. He's clean-shaven, this guy. And he looks up brightly as you all enter the room and smiles and waves you over. There's a woman of maybe 26 or so years of age, human, female, fairly attractive in terms of comeliness. She's off to the side, chowing down, like, when I say chowing down, she is devouring a plate of chicken right now. Like, shoving it in as fast as she can get another handful. And there are 2 tired-looking guards standing over by her. Of note, the only other thing is a guardsman with gray hair who's standing right next to the High Elder. And yeah, I believe that concludes the notable NPCs in the room. So, what is the party doing at this time?
I'm not exactly sure what we're supposed to do. Are we supposed to sit?
No, the Elder beckoned you over to the table, over by the table where he is standing currently.
Then we will walk over.
Okay, Vasa, am I correct in assuming you're going to be walking over too? I see you typing
Amanda.
some. Amanda, that's right. Apologies. Okay, well, he will introduce himself and greet you all by name. None of you have met this person yet, but you're familiar that, okay, there's some guy, Maximilian, he's the High Elder. Maybe you've seen him in some parade or a fair or some sort. Regardless, he will say that he needs to ask all of you a very important favor for the city. And he will explain at this point what a crystal caravan is. I believe everyone, as the players are familiar, as the characters you 100% are. So, player to player, DM to players, anyone not familiar with what a crystal caravan is?
Aren't they the things that goes gets water to clean the crystal?
Exactly, yes. Without them, the city would... Yeah, exactly. The city would not survive without them. Shortly before the infernal blood moon, we sent out our crystal caravan to replenish the magic crystal. They have not returned. Normally, we do not worry over a month or two's delay. They have basically the full year to get it back. However, I've received word that they are dead. And the city will perish within the year if we do not get magic water. I'm asking Bellatrix, Garrick, Amanda, if you would be willing to go with a spare magic chalice and acquire magic water to replenish our city's crystal before it's too late. This will be a very dangerous undertaking, and I certainly don't anticipate you to take it alone, so I have brought help, and if my guessing is correct, he should be here in the next few minutes. And at this point, he's looking at you all to see what you are going to say. I got some thunderstorm outside my window. I see Amanda is typing. Garrick / Bellatrix, are either of you saying anything? Oh, typing as well. Okay. Alright, Amanda, I'm going to give Bellatrix and Garrick a chance to speak really quickly before Maximilian will address your thing. Alright, that's Garrick. I assume Bellatrix is about to speak. Apologies to YouTube and both of y'all. I am still congested and coughing and stuff, but I wouldn't miss session for the world.
You see, the thing is, if that's what's to happen, then that seems like something, that should be allowed to happen because, natural course of order, death. Bellatrix is kind of torn.
Mm-hmm. Well, Bellatrix, if I may, creatures will die if a lion eats them, but they can also try and kill the lion before it eats them. Right now, the city is looking down the jaws of a lion, and it's trying to fight back, and it's asking you to fight for them. And you live here too. Should it happen, it happens. Let there be glory in your death. Until then, keep fighting. Does that check out? Or do I sound like a raving lunatic? Or, option 3, both. But I appreciate the roleplay over there being like, yeah, that's death, man. That happens. Emotionless Bellatrix replies. Well, Garrick and Bellatrix, Maximilian will, because in terms of the speech length, I assume you all are basically talking at the same time. I'm not going to make you do initiative rolls for it, so he'll thank you both.
No, Garrick went first and then Bellatrix went.
Okay. In that case, Amanda, Maximilian will state that he has never been part of a crystal caravan as an adventurer. He doesn't know the details. However, their guest, who should be arriving shortly, will have everything they need. And almost on cue, the longhouse door gets knocked open as this guy hobbles in. He is old, slightly decrepit, and walking with a cane. He's got gray hair. I don't know if I've got a better description of him written down. If you'll give me a second, I can poke around in my NPCs list. Yeah, short, hunched over, stark white hair, and a permanent grumpy disposition. And he's got one guard with him who is currently rubbing his knee as he walks, like he got a smart smack on the shin by a certain cane. So, the old guy walks on over with no preamble or anything, and speaks. Alright, boy, you called me here, what's this about? And assuming no one cuts in first, Maximilian will explain the situation as he just explained it to you all. And the old man's expression hardens a bit. Well, shame about that group. I've ventured with some of those for 30 years. Alright, let me see how I can help. These 3 are to be the ones to recover magic water. They look green behind the ears. What the hell, man? And he's looking y'all up and down. Alright, she's strong. He's strong. And that one, and he's pointing at Amanda, no clue about her. Alright, they might have a shot in hell if they're smart. You 3, listen up. I'm not going to repeat myself because I'm old and I don't give a shit anymore. I was going to retire on a nice house on the cliff before he dragged me back down here. So, if memory serves, there is a spring, which is where you recover this the magic water for the chalice at, in the mountainside to the south. It was there 25 years ago, and the mountains are still there after the blood moon, so odds are it's still there. If we had a map that was worth shit, then I would draw it. We do not. So, get me some charcoal here. Let me try and draw it from memory. We used to go there. The springs can only be used once every few years. They need time to replenish, so we had to keep cycling. But if I'm correct, and at this point someone gets him, a parchment and a blah blah blah. And here, let me just get this. That is the wrong tool. And he's going to quickly try and scribble out something, which I'm scribbling out now because I didn't prepare this far ahead. Yeah, this guy wastes 0 words. Here, let's just get drawing. Alright, and this is what he will post, and it is just as articulate as that is. And now the questionings begin, as the old guy kind of just pulls over a seat with his cane and sits down. Interesting. Yeah, Maximilian is giving you an appraising look there, Bellatrix, about the burning map to memory comment. I've got Amanda typing. Yes, of course. I need to roll a
perception check to see if I notice his look at me.
Sure, go ahead. Amanda, I can't force you out the gates. I'm asking you to make do with all haste, but realistically, we have time. The longer we wait, the worse it gets, though. 9. Yeah, you'll notice he gave you a funny look.
Now the question is, does my character know they have photographic memory?
Yep, you should be aware that you've never really needed to write anything down ever. If you want, I could even possibly extend some credits. You would have to pay it back, possibly out of whatever your... I apologize, words are escaping me for the moment. You would possibly have it deducted depending on the extravagance of the expense, but we could extend some credit at a store called Left Hand Luke's. You might be familiar with it, and I'll let you all make intel checks if you want. Point is, the owner of the establishment is a friend of mine. He'll be more than happy to loan you some supplies. Fascinating. That's a talent you have there. Use it well. Poor Amanda doesn't have it, but Bellatrix does, and that probably irks Amanda slightly. Well, do you have any further questions? Amanda, if you need it, just tell Luke that Maximilian okayed it, and it should be good. If you really want to, I'll write out a quick thing that you have 200 gold pieces worth of credit. Horses, wagons, those types of accessories should be good. I think he might even have an old suit of armor or two that could be your size. All I ask is that you do this and save my city. And with that, he's looking at y'all if you have any further questions, and I see both players are currently typing. Would you believe me if, because this was going to be the starting quest, I thought out like 20 different possibilities?
And we will still discover the one possibility you didn't.
Precisely, you beautiful monkeys. I'm not one for frontline fighting. Are there any creatures known to favor such area? Are there any chances of bandits set up along the way? Alright, so at this point, Maximilian bows slightly and gestures towards the short guy, who I believe I forgot to introduce his name. He is known as Thomas. And, Thomas...
Thomas? Or
Thomas. Thomas, the tank engine. Dude. No, I'm joking. He is not a tank engine. Not that you perceive, at least. Alright, Thomas will first turn to you, Bellatrix. Kobolds, dragons. I'm joking about the dragons. Maybe. I'm not sure anymore. Monsters. Kobolds, definitely. There used to be a tribe that hung out in the mountains. We never figured out where they lived, because that wasn't our job.
Please tell me these aren't the paintless ones.
I'm sorry, the what?
That was an out of character.
I know. Right. And then over to Garrick. Any chance of bandits? Yes, there is a chance of bandits. But hard to say when or where. Since it's due south of here and there aren't any roads due south, y'all are going to be fighting more through the brush if you go in the straightest possible path. At this point, he's grabbing a tankard of something. He snapped his fingers at one of the guards and told them to fetch him something to drink, something strong, and they came and brought him something. You might find bandits, might not. Like I said, I was doing this 30 years ago. It's been a while. What's the gold cost for a journal? That would depend on the construction of the thing. Like, what are you trying to get? What's it made of? Is it a book? Bound? X pages? Because I think, actually, if I look... Price list. And this will have to be later. It won't be a spellbook, though. Potions, clove of garlic, pre-made mask, spell components. I don't have it written down right now. 100 gold pieces should buy a paper book of like 50 pages easily. 100 pages of parchment, okay. Well, give me a second then.
Isn't parchment like 8 silver pieces?
Yeah, no. So the thing is, you're also paying for like binding and a cover, of course, not just the loose sheets. And parchment is 1 gold piece per sheet.
That's 40 gold, just for the parchment.
100 pages of parchment. Yeah, parchment's, so that's like 100 gold pieces plus binding costs, call it about $125. Yeah, dollars. They use dollars up in the north now. 125 golds. Roughly. Alright, so I tell you what, I'll let you mark off 125. Congratulations, you got it either at a steal or you were stolen from, essentially.
How much for a large blank map?
A large blank map. Okay, the type of mapping paper you're looking for. How large do you need it?
Well, I'm going to intend to map out the areas as we go.
Okay, do you want one that would size you properly for the world with all details, or more of a regional focused? Okay, world focused. Okay. What type of paper, papyrus, parchment, vellum?
Let me look at the price here.
Basically, just take a sheet and double it for the double-sized sheet that is a map.
I can't find the shop. I'm blank.
It's above common info in the Denalia campaign kit channels.
Vellum is 5. You know, let's go with vellum or parchment.
Vellum or parchment?
No. Parchment. I thought he said papyrus. That's different. Okay. Yeah, that's 100 gold. Never mind, ignore me. I thought he said papyrus for his.
So, yeah, just take the price of a sheet and double it, and they'll give you a double-sized sheet suitable for mapping more than writing. Like, as in a journal writing. Okay.
So, can go for a blank map.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So
at this point, Maximilian will ask if you have any further questions or inquiries.
And how much for a world map?
One of the old world maps?
Yeah.
And it's at this point your conversation is interrupted as the woman in the corner starts to retch and Boy that was clearly on standby, hiding in the corner, rushes over with a bucket, and she is throwing up in the bucket now. And Maximilian looks over kind of nervously at her, and she just holds up a hand, and yeah. Anyone doing anything with that?
Nope.
And I can't spell, but yeah. Okay, I apologize. What was the question again?
How much for a world map?
Let me check. I think I have price list. Obviously, you're gonna have to ask at the shop, so this is out of character.
Yeah.
So at the shop, this is the wrong price list thing. To-do list, spells, ideas, price list. Candied apples, hay bale, spell book. I don't think I have one listed here, so...
I know grills is like 25 gold pieces.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna do 25 gold pieces, but since it's more worthless these days, it's bumped down to 10 GP. Old world map. Give it a few more months. I heard that Crutoplia is getting further along with their coordinated world map. As the rough center of the world, they have everyone come to them. And then it will just take a matter of people like you copying it over and over and over and selling and distributing it. Alright, very well. Were there any further questions or inquiries, matters I could assist you with?
No, you're good to go.
Alright, in that case, I wish you all the best of luck. May the gods, whichever you believe in, smile upon you on your endeavors. You may leave as you wish. And, you know, he indicates the door, and you all can leave when you want. As he walks over to his ward and talks to her in a low voice. The old guy finishes his drink and says that if you all have any questions, don't bother him at his house on the hill. And goodbye. And you don't know if he was being serious or not. Well, I mean, really I should have you roll for this, but to keep things moving. You don't know if he was being serious or not about the don't bother me at this place over here. And yeah, he's just half limping, half walking out.
I don't even know his name.
Thomas.
Thomas.
But I believe I forgot to do it, but yeah, that's Thomas. Alright, so what is the party doing at this point? Time advanced.
Okay, what was Thomas?
So
and
Thomas,
what was the elder dude?
Maximilian.
Max.
Nice, big, grand name. You think he picked it himself?
I'm just going with Max.
Yep, Max works.
I mean, my character's going to remember the full name, but me, myself. That's...
Yep. And yeah, Sophia, the girl with bulimia. Not that they have a name for that here.
Ah, okay.
Now, as per Aiden's request, even though there are only 3 of you, I have not saddled you with any NPC companions, unless you're gonna ask Max or what's his name to come with you.
Nope.
Y'all got agency.
Don't need it.
The agency or the companions? And I know, the companions. I'm being facetious.
Right.
So, party, what is your action at this time?
Well, I would assume it is to go to the shop to get the things so we can go.
Alright, so y'all are heading over to the shops. It's going to take you a little bit to work your way over there, of course. This is a relatively large city. Now, are you going to any shop in general, or are you making a stop at Left Hand Luke's, the shop that Maximilian recommended? Said you could get credit over there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Left Hand Luke. So that will extend your journey slightly, because it's not the closest shop, but it's still within the same rough area. Give me a second to go check something here. Because this would be Dungeon Master's Guide. I need to see what encounter I just rolled up. If anyone needs a bathroom break, now would be ideal. Yeah. H-I-J-K-L. L. Oh, okay, must be P then. Or not. Out of character chat. Okay, duly noted. And I'm going to copy that. Y'all will pass by some laborers hauling some wood. It looks like they're moving wood. Yes. Y'all doing anything with that? Notes to self. Following after the small female. Okay, and this was Amanda at LH's LH Luke's. Okay, well, y'all will get over to the store. Left-hand Luke's, as it says written on the sign above, which all of you should have the intelligence and education to read and write, so forth. I don't know about write, but read definitely. Regardless, you'll go in, and the shopkeeper is this guy with these sandy hair and blue eyes, and a right hand and not a left hand. It would appear that the name is in jest. But yeah, he's got a couple boys helping him out with the physical items of the job, and, you know, I'm not going to make y'all roleplay it through that you have credit from the thing, and you're going to buy with your own money and or with credit. And yeah, he'll assist you with all your purchases and ask if you have any further needs or inquiries. It would be his pleasure to help.
5, 10, 15, 20. That's 1 gold.
Nope. Music crashing on my end.
The bags of charcoal, they're the ones for 5 silver. I'm assuming
that's like
that
for a forage.
Wouldn't the bag for the forge be like the 25-pound one?
That was copied over from, what's it called? And this was designed for the cost of running a forage. That's not... Yeah. What do you plan to do with the charcoal? Just out of curiosity.
If you'd let me finish. The bag of charcoal that's 5 silver pieces, I'm assuming that only has a few sticks in it.
Yes.
Not the 20-pound bag of charcoal at the bottom.
That would be correct, yes.
I was asking about the smaller one, not the big one.
Okay, my apologies.
How many sticks would be in there?
Not sure. Give me a second. So the 5 silver piece charcoal bag versus the 5 silver piece 20-pound bag. Honestly, I don't know how to handle that request at this point.
Is it safe enough to assume at least 10 pieces?
Yeah, at least 10 should work.
Okay, so that means I have 40.
I think those actually might just be the same item.
Well, there's a bag of charcoal. When I asked girls how much a 20-pound bag of charcoal would be, I don't think he wanted to do the price and just threw out a number.
Alright. I reserve the right to revisit this if y'all are buying super high amounts of charcoal cheap and stuff.
No, I'm buying the smaller bag, like just enough so I can make the math.
Oh yeah, definitely then. That should work. Yeah. The smaller bag would have more sticks, the bigger bag is for use in the forge where it doesn't matter, it's just charcoal lumps. Apologies.
And I'm using my own gold, not using credit for that.
If you use credit, let me know so I can mark it off. Otherwise, feel free to go shopping, players. And in character, Luke's asking if y'all need anything, just let him know. Damn it, I forgot something. Oh well. Actually, no, I'm gonna have to grab the Wheel of Time slightly here. Maximilian would have asked y'all not to mention exactly what you're doing, because he doesn't want to inspire panic in the general populace that, oh no, the end is near. Panic would lead to rioting, looting, factions, and we don't need that.
Does Luke sell cloaks?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's the North. Everyone in the North sells cloaks and furs and so forth.
I have everything I wanted to buy.
Okay.
Eating feast food.
Advancing time to where it should be.
Oh, they're halfway through the human, so let's try that again. Dungeon Master,
Yeah, huh?
do half-orcs have pointed ears?
I've never really considered that. I don't think the description in the Monster Manual 1 lists it. So...
It's just because the orcs kind of have pointy ears.
Normally they do, yeah. So half-orcs, it would be a die roll. I'm going to say if you have a high enough comeliness where you can't have tusks, you can't have pointed ears. If you can choose, but you have to have both the tusks and pointed ears. So if you chose tusks, you have the pointed ears. Does that check out?
Yeah, I was just answering because I was going to change what my twins look like. I want to use that picture for another set of twins if I ever make them. And the only one I can find is a male and female, but they have blonde ears, but you can see the pointed ears a bit.
Are you done with your shopping at this time?
Me? Yeah.
Vasa, how about you? Not Vasa. August.
I am done with my shit.
Amanda.
Amanda. Yes. A word. Asshole. Yes. Okay, so in that case, if you're all done shopping, are you leaving Left Hand Luke's, or are you just gonna stand there and stare at him while you consider if he should have pointed ears?
Was waiting for Amanda.
Okay, so what is the party doing at this point? It's about an hour or so till lunchtime, for what it's worth. You're starting to feel a little bit hungry.
We shall eat and then take off.
Like eat in the store, or go to like one of the food courts, if you will?
Food court.
Alright, you buying food or eating rations?
I'm buying food.
Okay, just name your price. Basically, from 5 copper to a gold piece, or 5 gold pieces, you'll get you food of the same quality.
1 gold piece from each twin.
Okay, the food will be of very good quality. Amanda, you're eating lunch? Amanda. Okay. So I'm going to assume you're either going to mark off the rations or the money that you spent on lunch. Right. Is the party eating very quickly or at normal speed or anything special?
We're not rushing it.
Okay.
They asked us not to make a panic, so if we eat quickly and trying to get out, that will...
Alright, well, your lunch will go by undisturbed. It's a little bit early, but, early lunch means that you should be good for a bit. And you will finish your lunch. Now, I think I forgot to mention this too, and I apologize because that makes me a bad dungeon master. Thomas would have given you, okay, so you see these 2 mountains that I point out here and here by the spring, this one looked like that one looked like that. If they're still the same after the blood moon, that would be a good indicator of where the spring would be. So you have a rough idea of where to go, because I do believe I have not given you sufficient data.
No, but I would, while eating, I would take out the old world map and, try and figure out if we're still in roughly the same location.
Well, let me check. Denalia. Yeah, fucking hell. Map. Fuck. While I quickly poke at this, the answer is that it doesn't seem to correlate very well. It's not completely worthless, undoubtedly, but, fucking Sailbarth used to be north of y'all. Now you know that it's to the south.
Well, that doesn't really answer the question on if we moved or if they moved.
No, it doesn't. The ocean used to be closer to you from the east side. Now you're bordering it on the north.
Right, so we have moved.
Everything has moved. Literally, it's mostly worthless.
So with that new information, I will make a mark on my new map of where we are now, right now, with the information that you've just given me.
Okay.
I'm assuming that I would know.
Yep. Boy, y'all are so lucky I didn't stick with this map. This map is a piece of shit. Okay. Closing up the nostalgia map. So, it's about, call it 10:50 in the morning. What is the party doing at this time?
Wait, 10:50 in the morning?
Yeah, roughly.
I guess we'll set out then.
Okay. Did you all buy wagons, horses, or anything, or are you hoofing it?
Nope, we're just going to walk.
Okay.
Because I don't think...
I thought Maximilian said that we would have gotten horses and a cart for this.
He said you could requisition, like ask for it and put it on credit. Do you want to do that?
Nope. Never mind.
Okay.
How big is the... Like, are we taking the chalice to get it filled, or what?
So, fuck me, I'm stupid. I forgot about the chalice's existence. Rewind time! Y'all are back in that thing, and he will show you a cup. It's made of some unknown, to you at least, white... It feels like stone, like it was carved. It looks like a goblet, basically. Like, picture a modern-day wine glass, almost. It can
So,
hold
like
maybe
the
an ounce or
goblet
two.
From Indiana Jones and the...
Maybe, yeah.
Goblet.
Last Crusade.
Yeah, Last Crusade.
I think that's the right one, yeah. It's not ornate, it's not carved, it's nothing. It's just a white stone goblet. You don't recognize the stone material, but then again, you haven't really studied much in stones. You think it could be marble based on the coloration, but it's a pure white. There's no, like, mixture or anything. He will mention that reportedly these cups are... We're not exactly sure what they are, but they have this property wherein unless you're deliberately trying to spill out the water, as long as you take normal care, you'll have a hard time spilling it.
Well, that answers my question.
So yes, he will ask who wishes to be the cup bearer.
So it's just a normal drinking cup. Yes.
It looks like a normal drinking cup other than being, you know, this white stone. Amanda, do you wish to be the cup bearer?
How tall is Amanda?
Amanda, describe yourself. Another thing I forgot to do. I apologize, guys. Turns out running things by the seat of your pants sometimes doesn't lead to good things.
That's alright, I'm just curious to see how tall Amanda is. I want to formulate a nickname for her, but I don't know if I can call her Short Girl or not. Wait, she's 5'2", I know that.
That's right, yeah, we just rolled that up. 5'2", 120 pounds. That being said, y'all should probably describe yourselves. I apologize for skipping that in my head.
It's alright.
Well, y'all can decide amongst yourselves who bears the cup. It's a big honor, of course. When you get to the spring, you can just dunk it in to get the water.
Oh, well then, this is a, we will look like triplets.
Red hair and green eyes?
Well, almost. Because both mine have red hair, but Beltrix has a left eye that is brown and a right eye that is blue. They are very striking to see.
That's right, didn't y'all have it reversed, too?
Yep. So, Garrick has a left eye of blue and a right eye of brown.
Well, waiting to see who decides to bear the cup. I am seeing typing. Alright. I know at this point you're typing up Garrick's. Aiden, would you confirm that you're letting Amanda do the thing so I can keep things going while you type?
Yeah, Amanda can take the cup.
Alright, so in this case, y'all are going to take a few hours to get out of the city just because of how large it is and spread out. And up this hill, sideways through that hill, back the way you came now almost. You will get out of the city. It will be about 3 hours later. It's a large area. So that puts you at about 1:50 in the afternoon. Y'all had lunch though, you're good. And the party is now towards the edge of the city, which is the gate to, I assume y'all are heading out via the east gate, which would be closer to your destination. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at this point, how do you intend to get to the Cave of the Spring? There's like a road you could follow for a short ways, you think, maybe, before veering off straight south, or you could angle yourself now. Again, you're running off of that pretty bad map.
We're going off what we have, and I will be mapping, in memory, and then when we have a break, I will put it down on parchment of what's actually here. So we'll probably follow the road and then veer.
Okay, you're only going to be following it for like a couple miles before it's like, okay guys, time to go far south.
That's fine.
Okay. How fast is the party traveling?
Well, we're walking, so not very fast.
Give me a miles per hour.
I mean, humans naturally can walk 3 miles per hour.
So you are walking at 3 miles per hour?
We'll go for 2 because we're heavily armored. We're more armored than... Well, actually,
Oh, Craig's been
she's more
unexpectedly
armored
disconnected.
than us. Well, actually, I don't know what she's wearing because she didn't say.
Because spellcaster, I assume leather.
Okay.
Alright, you know
But
what,
we're
fuck
more
it.
heavily
Craig, you're
armored,
done.
but we can actually probably outpace her because we have the stamina to do that. So we'll go for 2 to, not wear out the
Alright. Well, the first hour...
leather-bound one.
Alright. So the first hour on the road, roughly, passes without incident. It hasn't snowed recently. In fact, most of the snow and ice is melted. Nice. Okay. You're at roughly the point where you believe, based off your photographic memory, now would be the time to turn south and start hoofing it on the roughs of the wilds. As a basic description, the area south of y'all is this wooded and hilly area. The woods aren't desperately thick, but there's a bunch of hills and a bunch of trees. You should be able to walk through there without losing your sense of direction, as long as you're smart about it.
Beltrix will ask the party for maybe 5 minutes to jot this down onto the map she is clearing.
Okay.
Is Amanda in agreement? Garrick is anti-buddies. As you can tell, Garrick is the more, not charismatic, but the more energetic one, and Beltrix is not. Oh, I should have went with Jane and Alec from Twilight. Garrick loves in causing pain, and Beltrix just rather just get it done and over with.
So, Amanda has given you those 5 minutes. They should pass. Amanda also asked a question.
Ah, they did? Beltrix will be watching the area around them.
Okay. Well, let me know when the party is headed south.
We are heading
And
south.
your movement's gonna have to be adjusted. You could possibly do 2 miles per hour, but that's struggling a lot more. You could probably do a 1.5 without too much difficulty. It levels out because you have to climb up this hill, but then it's like, okay, slow down this hill, so on and so forth.
I mean, we're just walking, we're not running.
But the point is, the hills can be steep at times, and yeah, so you're gonna average, like, you can probably make 2, but that's pushing it.
Yeah, we'll slow down then.
Alright, so I'm gonna put you at 1.5. Alright, let me know when y'all are headed off. Let me advance time.
We are proceeding to go, I believe.
Okay. Nope. Give me a second. Alright. Let me do some math now. Okay, so y'all are over there. To get to over there is... Okay. Okay, at 1.5 miles per hour. Nope. 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 Okay, so that became 4.5 miles. Okay, the next 3 or so hours of travel are going to pass without event. It's about 5 or so in the afternoon. You know, you're feeling it in the legs, those of you that are less physically inclined, but yeah. The party is going to continue going until sundown if they can, I assume? Nope, not DC. I assume so, and I saw a thingy, but I'm going to wait a second. Alright, I see Amanda typing. Is the party continuing?
Well, I'm asking her if she needs to rest. I don't know if she's answered.
She just typed in in-game chat.
I see Grills is online.
Yeah, I saw that earlier too. I'm wondering if he's going to join. Alright. Well, I need to know if the party is stopping to rest or not.
Well, Beltrix says we can rest for no more than 10 minutes.
Okay. So is the party resting for 10 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a second then to adjust time. Well, party, y'all will, like, rest and get a breather for 10 minutes, pass around water skins, I assume. Drink from water skins. And when the time is up, y'all are gonna keep going, I assume. The same pace?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, another couple hours... Yeah?
And I am noting anything that stands out for memory to put down as a marker.
Okay. Duly noted. Well, you'll, like, remember certain clusters of trees and certain stretches of hills and so on and so forth. And it will be about 8 o'clock when the sun begins to set, what is the party doing?
Break for camp.
Alright, setting up camp. Anyone doing anything special?
Garrick is going to... You just want this... I'm just going to put it in actions for the round.
Yep, actions would be great. Probably going to need a new formation soon. But leave the old one there, because we're probably still going to have at least one session with the other party. Get everyone settled there.
Can you put in formations a line break?
Alright, I'm going to go run to the restroom really quickly. Y'all can finalize actions, do roleplay, and get yourselves set up for the night. Alright, I have returned. I see everyone's actions is in. Yeah, Amanda, I'm considering a, not quite a restriction, but a thingy that your faith does where you try new spices and so on, new concoctions with your food. So far, I haven't made a decision on that, but we're just gonna roll that into this for the fun of it. Alright, so let me check for encounters. Huh. Interesting.
Oh, damn it.
Two minutes later, will there be another thing? No.
2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dang it.
Alright, Dom, well played. So yeah, no, whether it's ingredients you brought with you or stuff that you scavenged out here.
Alrighty, so I've devised the night watch rotation.
Okay then. Amanda, Bellatrix, Garrick, Bellatrix, Garrick, Amanda, Bellatrix, Garrick. Huh. Huh.
I'm unsure how many hours, so...
Roughly 12, so 6 watches is
2,
sufficient.
4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, you never know.
Alright. Yeah, if it's not the final watch by the 8th watch, then things are fucked. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna get into the bread and butter right now of it, Amanda. So, yes, y'all will eat yourselves some dinner. How long do y'all take and do that?
Shouldn't take us no more than 20 minutes to eat. We're just eating rations.
Makes sense to me. So that's 20 minutes of eating, roughly?
Mm-hmm.
Anyone doing anything special at this time? as, the night has begun to fall. Writing in journal, then evening prayers. Okay. Well, Amanda, I have you doing that. Bellatrix, Garrick, I'm not sure what you all are doing at this point. I was looking for anything special. Nightly prayers, then bed. All right. I assume y'all are...
May I edit that for a moment?
Absolutely. How long is praying for spells and memorizing spells? What do you mean, Amanda?
Oh, wait, this is the wrong area.
In this case, since you don't have perfect memory, it's 15 minutes per level of the spell for each of them. I had assumed you'd already kitted out your spells, and I will allow you retroactively to pick the ones you wanted. But yes, 15 minutes if you've cast a spell. But, Amanda, I'm going to be nice here and let you have it without the time, since I had assumed, unless you'd want me not to. Like, if you'd like to start with no spells memorized.
Praying for spells is 15, and memorizing spells is 15.
15 minutes per level of the spell. So a second level spell, 30 minutes. Third level, 45. Fourth level, 1 hour, and so forth. Now, if you have perfect memory, then it's different, but you don't have perfect memory. Okay. Alright, so, Amanda, what are you doing once you're done with your evening prayers?
Oh, Autumn is on.
Nice. Going on watch. Okay. Well, in that case, Amanda, you can give me a perception check. Bellatrix and Garrick, you can give me perception checks at a penalty of 4. Hey, Autumn. Hey. Golden, you want to play? Say that again? Started the new campaign. So, Golden, you have a character all rolled up, don't you?
Not this one.
No?
This
one. Well, we were under the assumption that Autumn would just join this group since they're level.
Yeah, no, that's...
But you didn't want to let us get to the key.
Alright,
so...
Autumn, you're over in Oasis with the party. You feel this tugging sensation. Are you resisting?
Hold on, because give me 1 second. I was gonna talk to you about a character thing. I was also just gonna join in and listen for now.
Okay, so we'll do that. We gotta get you a backup character then for the new party, or... Like, I'm gonna have to figure this out now, because I've started this.
Yeah, No, you guys can keep playing without me. I mean, I'm kind of just... I was gonna sit in here to just listen and see how things were going.
Okay.
I have things I'm kind of doing.
I understand. So that's
Belcher got it on the nose, and Garrick made it by 1.
Right. And Amanda, sadly, will not have noticed. She was looking the other way. I was about to change it too, as it would have been the crackling noise as Autumn appeared here, but Autumn isn't appearing here. So instead, those of you that make your perception checks, which is not you, Amanda, there is this noise from the sky. It sounds like the flapping of large wings.
Oh no.
What are you doing at this time?
Damn it, Double M.
See, Bellatrix, Garrick, you both have infravision. Amanda is a cerebellum, you do not.
I'm going off fire mode, so...
Well, also, you're not aware of what's going on, so you're keeping watch, but looking in the wrong direction, which in this case is just not up.
They're
Alright,
trying not
duly
to
noted.
draw attention to themselves while they're getting up, because they don't know
Okay.
if the creature knows they noticed him.
Alright. So, you go for your weapons, you get up, you're looking around trying to keep an eye, you're looking above you, and you hear this noise again. Autumn, you can give me another perception check, bonus of 2. Not Autumn, I'm sorry, Amanda. I'm gonna mix up your guys' names a lot, and that is completely my fault. Heyo, okay. Amanda, you heard it this time, the whooshing of some wing. Is it caught air current or something? So, Amanda, I will allow you to adjust your action about 20 seconds into the round, mind you. What are you doing? Alright, give me a second. Yep. Moving towards those two with a dagger. Okay, so you draw out the dagger, and I assume you all are looking around for the source of the noise.
Yes.
And you'll hear that whooshing sound again, and that's the flap of some very large wing, and it's starting to become fainter. And y'all are looking around, even with your infravision. Well, first off, you're in the campfire light, and second off, this thing is outside the campfire light. It may have swooped down overhead, you're not sure. But about 30 seconds later, you'll hear it again. And then again, as you're straining to hear it, very quietly, and whatever the danger is, it appears to have moved on. Or so you believe. What is the party doing at this point?
Beltrix and Garrett will wait 10 minutes to see if it comes back. If nothing, they're going back to sleep.
Okay, duly noted. Well, y'all wait tensely or not so tensely, depending on your nerve. And 10 or so minutes have passed, and to the best of your knowledge, nothing. You hear the crackling of the fire as the various twigs and such snap as they do. You hear the wind occasionally howl. It makes this lovely sound against the mountainside, even miles and miles away. So 10 minutes pass and you both are going back to bed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Amanda, you're keeping watch? Doing anything special? Nope. Okay, you continue to keep watch, maybe slightly on edge. Alright. You believe the rest of your watch has passed without incident. What are you doing at this point? Waking up Bellatrix, okay. You wake up Bellatrix. Bellatrix, you are awokened.
I'll ask if it's my watch.
I'm gonna let the roleplay play on out.
Then Beltrix will tell her to go to bed, and he goes on watch.
Okay, I'm waiting to see what
We're
Amanda's
back
gonna
to
say,
the
but yeah.
firelight.
Alright, duly noted, Bellatrix. Now, obviously, you have peripheral vision as a normal human. So, like, how careful are you being to try and preserve infravision, or are you just making your back to the thing as a habit?
Back to the thing, so I can actually see out into the darkness around us.
Okay, so you're trying to maintain your infravision. This will kind of mess with you a bit, because it's, like, hard to turn your head without ruining it, so you have to be slow and methodical about it. Alright.
Have you not seen my person?
Yeah, no, I believe you. So, I'm just making sure you're aware of it. Alright, Amanda, I assume at this point you're going back to bed? And Bellatrix, I presume at this point you are on watch. Let's see if anything tries to terrorize you. Nope. Bellatrix, you believe 2 hours have gone by.
I will wake up Garrett.
Okay. Garrick, you will be awakened. It is your twin-ish sister.
And to save some time, my watch already?
Mm-hmm.
Nods her head, and then he goes on watch. But he does not care one bit about infravision or not, so.
Alright, duly noted. Well, Garrick, your 2 hours of watch will have gone by.
We'll go and wake up Bellatrix, and, same process as the first time, but on watch.
Okay. Well, Bellatrix, it feels like you just touched down and your sleeping bag was so warm, or your blanket or your cloak or whatever, and it's like, fuck. Bedroll. And, okay, you're going on watch?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, same routine as before?
Yep.
Alright, 34 minutes later.
She's more of a slow, methodical person.
Alright, well, let's see what we got with that result. Huh. Give me a perception check.
9.
9. What is your perception score again?
16.
Okay, give me a second to look up this monster. Nope, that's the creature from earlier. I can't find it quickly, it's going to be annoying. Oh, there it is. Alright. Bellatrix. You feel uncomfortable. Your skin is crawling, and you're not sure why.
Look around for a creature.
Okay, now are you being careful to preserve your infravision?
Yes.
Okay, so you're cautiously, methodically looking around. Are you searching the entire campsite?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
moving around the campfire with my back directly to it.
Alright, it will take a couple minutes, and the sensation will fade.
Still on guard. Not trusting this at all.
Okay, give me a second here. Okay. So you're still on guard. Let me check the rest of your watch. Well, you maintain that guard. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. You're not trusting anything. You jump when the torches and the fire pit crackle and such, but to the best of your knowledge, nada. And 2 or so hours will pass.
And I will wake up Garrett.
Okay, Garrick. Boy, do your eyes feel tired. You're awake. Same deal?
Watch.
Yep, going on watch.
Their watch will be exactly the same, so... Well, you know what I mean.
Right. Well, Garrick, you've taken your watch. You think you can barely... No, not even. You thought you saw the sun rising. It wasn't. It was a delusion brought on by lack of sleep. I'm joking, of course. You're tired. You know, you've pulled 2 shifts already, but it's the end of your shift and nothing has happened that you're aware of.
I believe it is now. Yes, it's Amanda's watch. Wake up, Amanda.
Alright, Amanda, you are woken by a terrible monster and... Oh, wait, that's just Garrick. I'm joking, actually. Garrick is an attractive fellow, I believe.
Yeah, comeliness of 13.
Alright, so... Nothing terrible there. Yeah. Amanda, I assume you are going on watch for the next 2 hours? Okay. Huh. Well, would you look at that?
What?
This thing I rolled. 59 minutes. Ooh, wow. Interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed. Do I want to use those? I really don't. Alright, give me a second here. Directionality. Now, Amanda, are you doing anything special with your patrol? Otherwise, I just have you going in circles around the campsite.
Just going in circles, keeping inside the firelight at least, because she does not have infravision.
Okay. Alright. So
Which
you're
is why
keeping
you only
watch.
had 2 shifts.
Yep. You're keeping watch, and give me a perception check.
Okay.
10.
Pass by 5.
Pass by 5. You hear the snapping of a branch as something steps on it to the north of the campsite. The sun is literally a few minutes away from rising. You can see it creeping over the horizon.
Can I see what it is, or do I just hear the snapping of a branch?
You hear the snapping of a branch. In terms of light, it's still dark enough outside. Like, the sun's barely creeping up, so it's starting to get, you know, it changes from black to blue, and then you start to see. You're like a few minutes before where you'd be able to see clearly.
Okay.
So you're looking in that direction. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Oof.
Fail by
Fuck.
3.
You had a bonus of 2 quietly, but even that's still a failure. Yeah, you're not sure what made that noise, and you don't see anything because of how dark it is. What are you doing at this time?
Waking up the 2.
Alright, who are you waking up first?
Bellatrix.
Alright, Bellatrix, Amanda is trying to wake you up. Bellatrix, Amanda is trying to wake you up.
Perception check, I guess.
You're not sure. Give me a perception check. You fail on a 20. 16, you wake up.
Alright, what?
And she will explain the whole, she heard something coming from the north side of the camp.
And since we were all surrounding the campfire, Dungeon Master,
Mm-hmm.
which way is north?
North is to the north. I don't know, man.
Alright, just give me a moment here. Alright, so that's on Garrick's side.
Mm-hmm.
Then I will get up, slowly make my way over to Garrick, wake him up, and have my crossbow in hand.
Okay. Garrick, Bellatrix will awaken you. There's no need for a perception check here unless you'd like to.
No.
Alright. So, yep.
She'll explain, and then he will go for his crossbow, slowly getting up, you know.
Alright. Well, party, y'all will be ready for action as the sun fully rises and light shines upon Denalia. What are you doing at this point?
He will look in the direction of the noise. Do we see anything, Dungeon Master?
Okay, daylight's coming in. Let me check how fast this thing moves. Movement speed of 6/10 of yards. How close are you to the next hill? Oh, wow, right there. Okay. Okay, so these things are probably going to be doing that. Then is it an uphill or a downhill? Up. Okay, so that's kind of helpful, kind of not. Okay, give me a perception check.
I'm assuming both am on.
Yeah, both of yous. Amanda, if you wish to look as well, you can. Ooh. Okay,
Bellatrix
Garrick,
gets
nope.
it. Garrick can't see shit.
Yes.
Yeah, I failed by one.
Okay.
Sadness.
Bellatrix, you spot some type of print in mud or whatever. You know, the snow melting in the thing, so there's a print. Although the ground would actually be cold at that point, so you see, like, by a branch that was definitely stepped on by accident and snapped into, there's a small print. Let me look at this. It appears to be... Are you going closer to examine the print?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, it's definitely from a small creature. You're not a hunter or a tracker or anything, but you can see the print. It was facing towards you, and you can dice percentage for me if you'd like, if you want to try and track this thing. Like to get some more intel. Think some Witcher shit here. 20, alright. You think that this... Something was trying to sneak around lightly, because you see a couple light footprints, and then they stepped on this and turned right the fuck around and ran at all due haste. The print is about, like, I don't know. A normal human's foot is, hey, shocker, about a foot. This thing is maybe 7 inches. It has, looks like 3 claw holes. It's definitely small. Maybe a child-sized footprint. Oh, we lost gold.
So it ran from us?
It appears that it stepped on the branch, and then after that it started running away quickly. What are you doing at this time?
Give me a moment to look at my character sheet. Okay. Not what I was hoping for, whatever. I will determine that it has fled, go back to the camp if I went too far, tell them to eat, and we shall set off.
Okay. Now, coincidentally... Oh, did I say north? I'm a fucking moron. Guys, it's not north, it's south. South. The direction you wanted to go, that's where this thing came from.
Alright, so where Bellatrix was laying.
I apologize. Alright. So, y'all are eating breakfast at this point? Normal morning routines?
Yes.
Okay, allowing that much time for that. The sun rises and the day brightens up a bit more. Okay. So I've allowed time for food and prayers at this time.
I guess we shall go off.
Alright. Standard movement speed of 1.5. Okay. Nope for the first hour. Nope on second. 3.
Alright, I'm gonna edit their formation.
5. Okay.
Dang it.
What's the dang it? You accidentally do delete?
Yeah.
Oofy. Oh, it knows. Well, party, let me know when you all are ready.
Alright, there we go. Watch has been edited.
Right. You're going to travel for the next several hours to the south. Again, Amanda, you're kind of feeling it. You're not used to this much physical exertion. Bellatrix, Garrick, you both have had more physical training at your temples. This is not quite a jog in the park for you, but you're managing just fine. The mountains are getting much closer as the next several hours will pass as you travel towards them, and they get closer, 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 closer. It's about midday at this time. You're still probably a couple hours out from the mountains where you believe you'll find this spring thing. What does the party wish to do?
Stop for about 10 minutes for a rest and allow Bellatrix to update the map.
Okay, stopping. It's also lunchtime and you're feeling hungry.
We'll also eat while we're waiting.
Okay, so allowing time for eating. How quickly are you eating?
Well, we have like a 10-minute wait, so like no rush.
Alright. Alright, so allowing time for eating and resting and food and so forth. Alright, once that's done, the party is continuing.
Mhm.
Alright. Hey, before it comes up, because it hasn't yet, for whatever reason, someone come up with a marching order for me.
I just assumed we were all standing next to each other with the
Who's
cleric
left,
in the
middle, right, so forth.
Okay.
Okay.
Our initial spell is
Bag.
bag.
Someone play the bagpipes theme. Okie dokie. Nice. Alright. Party, you all may discuss amongst yourselves as you continue to approach this doohickey goober here. I need a pee break and to quickly write some stuff down break.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna need a few minutes. I didn't anticipate y'all making it this far, and I'm criminally unprepared for what's about to happen next. If y'all want to take a break, grab some food, use the restroom, I encourage you to do it now, because I need like
Okay.
5 minutes.
How much time do you need?
Just another couple minutes, but if you need more time, take more time.
Oh no, I was just gonna ask, could I finish that fifth fight on Skellige?
You're doing the one against the rock troll?
I have to fist fight a rock troll?
Oops. Didn't you clear the arena? Oh, you're probably not doing it in the order. Uh,
No,
give
it's
me
the
a...
one at the arena after clearing the Wraith. I never
That's the
finished
rock
that
troll.
one. Oh, well then yeah, that.
You might want to drink like a troll decoction or something. It's tough. Did we just lose Dom? We lost Dom. Can't have shit in
Well,
Detroit.
so may I?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Okay, give me a second. Fuck. I'm just quickly getting this together. I did not anticipate this going so well for you all.
Yeah, I expected us to at least be ran over like 4 times already.
Mm-hmm. You all thought I was going to throw an ancient blue dragon at you, didn't you?
No, I was actually expecting a Riven.
Oh, Wizard. That's a bit beyond the party's current thing. Okay, I need to determine weapons as the thing, so...
Yes, it is a little thing, but you said wings, and I was like, oh fuck, it's a Wyvern. Like, the Wyvern is more scary to me than the ancient black dragon, or blue dragon, or whatever other ancient
You're not
dragon
worthy of the
you have.
dragon's attention.
It's not even about being worthy, it's just literally, you don't scare me. Yeah, you can outright kill me, but
Who?
you don't scare me.
Alright, let's see.
A Wyvern does.
Almost done here.
Huh?
Okay, I am ready for this at least. Let me just double check the reading, make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope. Got and lost, got and got. Right, Aiden, how are we looking on that fist fight?
I hadn't even started it yet.
Alright. Well, do you want to keep going here?
Is he back?
Dom, you here? Give us a sign. Okay. Well, in that case, buckle your seatbelts, gentlemen and other gentlemen, as we will begin. Okay. So, after a couple hours of travel, you arrive at the base of the mountain. The mountain tops are tall, scraping into the sky itself, above the clouds. You'll crane your head back up to look, and it's like, damn, that's tall. To the best of your knowledge, you don't see any cave openings right where you've landed at, but of course you don't have a precise map that you're working off of.
Oh, I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm. So, party, the mountain is to the south of you. You can go east or west because it's, a mountain range, and it extends for miles in both directions as you can see. What is the party doing at this time?
Looking for a trail up.
Looking for a trail up the mountain. Okay. You did not detect any trails up the mountain.
Well, I mean, like, is there an easy path that we can see, or do we have to make a path?
Bellatrix, what do you think that this thing's like at the top of the mountain? Because I apologize, then my description was probably lacking. This isn't a cave located like right at the base of the mountain. I apologize
Then look for the cave.
Yep. All right. Are you searching east or west?
East first, then west.
Okay. Go to the east. How thorough are you searching?
Very.
Very thorough. Okay, this is going to slow you down
Because
quite a fair bit.
I want to document it, so.
Alright, well, you will be documenting as you search. After about...
Well, I'm burning it into my memory and then, pull it later.
Okay, now that actually helps your speed a bit. So instead of an hour, it will only take you about 30 minutes to find this thing. Give me a second. You will spot what appears to be a cave entrance. And give me a perception check, as I assume you all are going to get closer to this thing. And everyone. 16 and 2. Alright, Bellatrix, you actually had a pretty good bonus there. Amanda, rip.
What did Amanda get in that, 20?
16. Okay, so Bellatrix and Garrick, you will get this. Amanda, unfortunately, you will not. Bellatrix, you'll get this right away, but Garrick, you don't have perfect memory. You remember that track from earlier? Same track. Leading into this cave.
Bellatrix will tell the party this is the thing that you woke me up about, Amanda. We may be in for a fight.
How big is the cave entrance? This is not a very large cave. At its tallest, it might be 5 feet.
Oh, so we're all gonna have to hunch down. That's great.
Yep. And the smell coming out of it isn't very pleasant.
Garrett will take a torch out of his backpack and light it.
Okay. You have lit your torch, Garrick.
We will switch the formation with Garrick taking. Let me. Yes. Garrick will take up the rear with the cleric in between, and Bellatrix will take the front. So.
Okay.
How wide is it?
In terms of width, you're looking at most 4 feet. This is not a very big cave.
Alright, so we can go single file in.
Alright, I'm gonna have to get paint open for this, I just realized. Alright, north is north. So the path is about there. Give me a moment here. Apologies. Actually, no, it shouldn't. Okay. So, you are proceeding into this cave. Garrick, you're holding the torch from behind, so Bellatrix, your infravision should work. Are you giving it a minute to adjust?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're trying to run off infravision, I take it. And we've got Amanda in the middle.
Well, the torch is more for Amanda, who does not have it.
Mm-hmm. Alright.
That's why Garrick is at the back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, how quickly are you proceeding down this cave?
Actually, Garrick will ask if Amanda would like the torch.
Amanda.
I mean, yes.
Okay.
Alright, so she has that, and now Garrick can now freely grab his two-hander, which is going to be very shitty in this, but, when it arises that he needs to grab it. But for now, he has his crossbow in hand.
Okay.
Bellatrix has her longsword and shield at ready.
Alright.
And they're going. There's maybe 2 feet between each of them as they walk.
Alright. And quick, slow, deliberate. How quickly are you all descending into the darkness?
Slow.
Alright.
We're being cautious and
Bellatrix, you've got infravision, so good for you.
and she's mapping out as she goes in her head, just wanting to see how far down and, taking their time.
The passage stays mostly consistent south. You're definitely descending down, however. Like, this is going down into the earth. And Bellatrix, give me a perception check.
Is it a steep down?
Not very steep, no. Like, there's a definite noticeable descent, but...
By
oof.
one.
Okay. Well, yeah, Bellatrix, oof. You will step forward, and... How should I do this? Give me a d20. You want... Actually, I won't say what you want. Oh, you wanted the other way. I'm sorry. Okay. Yikes. Fuck. Yeah, Bellatrix. You hear this snapping noise as you stumble on a tripwire, and this thing falls from the ceiling on top of you, dealing 3 points of damage. This boulder trap that you just set off, making a loud rumbly noise. The boulder itself isn't very large, maybe slightly bigger than your head, but it fell, and ouch.
Duly noted. We'll make mark traps.
What are you doing at this time?
So it fell on me. Did it hit me in the head, or did it just...
It
hit me in
struck
the
you
back?
on your helmet, dealing 3 points of damage. And then, you like, move, and it falls off, and you're... Ow, my head. But realistically, your armor took the brunt of that, and that's just metaphysical HP you've lost. You might have a small cut or a scab, but beyond that...
We'll pause and bind my wounds.
Alright, mark off your bandages, and 1 hit point restored.
I could use my lay on hands to get those last 2. But I will save that.
Okay. What are you doing at this point?
Slowly... you know what? Fuck it. Yeah. Gonna go slowly looking for traps now.
Okay.
Any signs of traps, any disturbances, everything.
Interesting. Alright, well, you will proceed forward then. Moving much slower
Slowly.
now as you're carefully checking for traps, without the torchlight, obviously. Because, like, it's coming up from behind you, kind of shining forwards, and you're trying to scan ahead of it with your infravision. It's fun. It's a lot of fun trying not to be blinded while also keeping an eye out on everything.
At this point, I will sacrifice my infravision and just accept the light.
Okay, so you're going to stop trying to preserve your infravision so you can have a better chance looking. Duly noted. Okay, well, you're going to proceed for about 10 more minutes at your current pace. Let me adjust time. And you will not discover any more traps. The cavern that you're in is starting to widen up a bit. The ceiling goes up to about 6 or 7 feet now, and it's about 5 or so feet wide.
Alright, now I'm going to attempt to preserve my infravision before going in.
Okay, so you're stopping for a minute as you enter, like, as the tunnel widens up?
I will tell Hode, let me get my vision settled before we go in.
Okay. Everyone else, you're holding up, I assume? By everyone else, I of course mean Dom, since I'm assuming that Garrick isn't going to argue with Bellatrix, although that would be some great roleplay.
Garrick is going to pull out another torch.
Garrick, you're pulling out another torch. Bellatrix, you're trying to allow your infravision to adjust. Amanda, are you doing anything special at this moment? Amanda is typing. Okay, still has a dagger out, ready to go. Okay, so Bellatrix, you start trying to focus your infravision Garrick, you start getting your torch out, and I'm assuming you're just going to light it on the other one. So it's like, here, Amanda, hold still for a second. You do that. And, Bellatrix, give me a d20. I'm curious.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's the wrong channel.
That is indeed the wrong channel.
12.
12. Okay, yeah, so that will be a nope. You're at a stiff penalty here. Your infravision hasn't adjusted when you hear that. And party dice initiative.
Alright, then, since you already had Garrick light his torch on the other one, you will proceed to throw it in and then crossbow.
Well, put it in actions. New. I see a 4 for initiative. Now, Bellatrix, keep in mind, you stated earlier you had your longsword and shield in hands.
Yep.
Okay. Keep that in mind for your actions. How tall is the ceiling right now? At the point where you're at, it's just... Well, actually, hold on. You're in the middle of the procession, so yeah, it's like 7 or 8 feet at most. Amanda, you currently don't have a target that you can see. You just heard noise. So you're throwing daggers in the direction of the noise? Shield her front to block the light to allow her to adjust while line herself up to a set, receive an attack, and parry. Ready 2 daggers, looking for a target. Okay. Party, you do not have initiative. Okay, so Garrick, you're winding back to throw your torch right at the same time as the monsters throw their javelins. Heyo. Good news is, with such a low ceiling, it's going to be hard for them to arc it right. Bad news is, that means that it's mostly going to Bellatrix. So.
Well, she raised her shield.
Yep, raised your shield, which actually might help your thingy. Let's see what we got here. Bellatrix, your armor class is that. I finally got to use my DM screen tonight. That's a decent armor class at first level.
Mm-hmm.
These monsters are that many hit dice. Okay. So as a monster of that hit die there...
He's not out in the open just yet. So
that was close. Nope. No. Now, granted, your dexterity bonus to armor class is what exactly?
-2 dicey.
-2. Okay, so one of them actually would hit you. Just because you can't dance around.
Well,
Okay.
she's set to receive, so...
Yeah, no, that's true. Actually, that disregards your dex bonus to AC. Okay, so at this point, Bellatrix, yeah, a javelin will strike you from the 4 that were thrown at you, and it does 2 points of damage.
Really noted.
Okay. So that is yonder javelins done. At this point, Garrick, give me a d20, I'm curious.
Is this with my strength?
This is with your strength and dexterity to hit bonuses, but you are penalized for not knowing where your thing is. So just roll it with your normal bonuses and I'll do the penalties.
Alrighty, so let me look. No dex bonuses, so that's just that. 6.
6, yeah, okay. So you're not going to hit one of the creatures. You
Well,
will,
I'm
however...
not aiming to hit, I'm just aiming to throw it in there.
So yeah, no, you will throw it in there. The torchlight sails ahead, revealing creatures that I will describe. And it goes right past them, because you chucked that fucker as hard as you could, and there's a cave behind them. Give me a second.
Enough to blind them is enough.
Yep. So that torchlight comes flying towards them, revealing several, by several I mean about a half dozen creatures. They are small, maybe only 3 or 4 feet tall. They have these brown hides. They're wearing this piecemeal crappy armor that might be leather and
Are
might
these
be hide.
kobolds?
You don't know what these are. They have small horns upon their heads, and most of them appear barefoot, with these 3-clawed little feet.
Kobold.
Would I really do kobolds? Yeah, I would. They're pathetic kobolds. And yes, for those of you that are dungeon masters, which is everyone here, kobolds! Okay, so the kobolds in the lead, which have just finished throwing their javelins, are now drawing short swords. Or actually, yeah, short
crossbows?
swords and shields. That is 2 of them, and they are approaching forward to attack as the thing will sail on past them. And yes, Amanda, at this point, with initiative effective, you can throw a dagger, but not yet. Give me a second. So that's 2 of them with short swords and shields. Give me a second. And let's see. So the light's gonna come at them. Let's see if they think in time to cover their eyes. Nope. Yes. Nope. Yes. Okay, that one's smart. And that one's blocked by those. Okay. So that's gonna stun 2 of them. Now, you were saying, Aiden?
When does Garrett get to use his crossbow?
Alright, so you've done that. At this point, you're leveling your thing, lining up a shot. These thingies are going to start approaching, and let's see. Amanda, you've got daggers. You're going to be slightly closer, though. You're attacking twice per round, so go ahead and aim your first one, but first designate your target. 2 of them approaching with swords and shields drawn and moving up at the party. 2 of them in the back with spears. There's another 2 behind them. One of them has a short sword and shield and spear. One of the stunned ones, okay. The front stunned one or the back stunned one? Front. Okay, roll to hit. Your attack is a 1st level cleric. 18, ayo. That will be a hit, dice or damage. For 2 points of damage. Nice. Okay, give me a second. That's this guy over here. That guy gets hurt. He does not go down, however. Alright. So you got this one guy with his, wrong one. With his shield and shit coming on up. Okay, at this point, Garrick, you may roll to hit. Designate your target.
One at the back with the javelin.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
12 at first.
12 as a 1st level. Oop, loud noises. Fighter first, 12 is insufficient to hit, unfortunately.
Okay.
And it's at this point that... Oh, man, the music bot is cutting out. Is it just for me or for everyone?
I don't have the bot playing. Eminem?
Yeah, huh?
So, with that being done, you know what Beltric's going to do. Garrick is probably going to ask Amanda to step aside so he can rush in with his and pull out his greatsword.
You leaving?
No, I just need to go carrying the groceries real quick.
Okay, go carrying groceries.
Yeah. That's what I was just going to tell you.
Really quickly, just out of world knowledge now, one of them is chanting.
Alrighty, that's fine.
Alright. So at this point, chant is in effect from one of the kobolds in the back. Yes, this, here, let me see if I can get... Yeah, for dramatic effect. Okay, we got chant going. Let's see, Amanda, you still have a 2nd dagger. We got Bellatrix trying to shield her face to block the light. Let's see how successful she was by dicing percentage. Alright, setting to receive the attack. She has a long sword. She can't really brace it, so I'm just assuming she's holding the sword out in front of her. These are kobolds, so she should be able to do that. Amanda, as Bellatrix, why don't you roll to hit? Or give me a d20, actually. 6. Okay, that won't really be effective, unfortunately. Good news is the kobold that tried to attack her won't be either. Now, Amanda, are you throwing your second dagger, or are you moving aside for Garen, the Garrick? I need to know which is happening first here. We'll move aside, like I said, so you're gonna pause that attack there, which actually... I'll allow it still. You got time. Okay, so Garrick's gonna try moving up, drawing his sword. And let's see. I'm thinking that should be it for the round. Okay.
Damn bastards. So how are you doing, Double Up?
Doing alright while guarding the... Bell... Give me a second. Let's see. Garrick is... Okay, you can put in your action, and we'll wait for Aiden to get back, even if it takes a few minutes.
Okay. How big is the bigger kobold?
Oh, about 4 feet tall. He's a biggin. The other ones are closer to 3 feeters.
What's 40% of 4 feet? Isn't that just a foot?
Yeah.
And that's not right. Because
Roughly.
I had to do math for Garrick, and he'd be 7'4" if I enlarged him, due to being an alterationist and enlarge being one level higher because of it.
Oh no, this first level, actually, funny enough, you're just a magic user, technically speaking. It's next level, the alterationist thing kicks in. Or,
Okay.
yeah, no, because I can't do 0 level spells for the life of me.
Okay, so then that's only 20%.
Bard appears to have broken. Poor thing. Hmm.
Oh, well, 6'3" would be how tall he would be if I enlarged him. That might not be the best idea because reasons.
You're taking a 4-foot creature and making it 6'3"? As a first
No,
level enlarge?
that was for Garrick.
Yeah. Okay, that makes more
Garrick is
sense.
5'3", and 20% is roughly a foot. So technically, it's 1 foot 0.05 feet, but we don't talk about 0.5. Well, 0.05 inches. So, though that wouldn't be a smart idea to enlarge him in this area. God damn it.
Well, Bard is broken.
Grease would have actually been a better option here. Sadness.
Well, you can
Okay.
pick your friends, and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your spells.
Dislike.
Yep, I'm just taking a moment break. I dislike how Bard is gone. Fred, why? We were counting on you. You were the chosen one. You're supposed to replace Rhythm, not repeat it.
I actually got some pretty good aerial rolls right now. Well, let's see how long that's gonna fucking last, though.
I am back.
Welcome back.
back.
The bot has died, and I put in the stuff for round 2. I decided I wouldn't run it without you.
Did I not get the parry?
So yeah, no, you tried to set to receive, you stated? Basically, you parried him. No one did any damage.
Okay.
I did a solid 2 points of damage, though, to one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I was here for that.
Yep.
I was thinking about casting Enlarge on Garrick, but that'd be a dumb idea because of how tall the cave is compared to how tall you would be.
Give me dust time. Boop. And yeah, you're at a penalty of 1 to hit and to damage.
I
Due to the
am?
chant.
Okay.
Allies, enemies, on the other hand, are +1 to hit and to damage.
Now, I have to be worried about Garrick because if he won't fall until he's at -10.
Question.
Yeah, huh?
Does Beltrick know there's one chanting? Like, do we hear this?
Yes, you can hear it. If you're looking in character chant, yes. It is behind 2 of them that have shields, like, not proper size shields, they're more like bucklers, and they're using the javelins. Propped up against the sides of the caves next to them are spears, and they have short swords at their belts, too. I'm sad about Bard. I think he died.
I mean, YouTube's been killing every single music bot recently, so I'm not surprised. Though, by saying that, I probably just got your video demonetized, so sorry
I
about
don't
that.
have money. No, seriously, I don't have enough subscribers and watch hours to get monetization. And yeah, for any YouTube executives that are randomly watching this section of this video, first off, congratulations, I guess. I don't even watch my own videos. Second off, yeah, can we not kill the bots? Just, like, make them pay money and then they get donations and shit?
Yeah, that'd be better than, being butthurt about people not liking the bot you guys made.
Oh, they made a bot, really? Rip.
They made a bot, yeah.
Alright, waiting on you.
It's a YouTube bot. I'm still right now.
Yep. Attack on closest target, keeping yourself between enemy and Amanda. Yelling at her brother, rush the back line for the chanting one. Move Amanda out of the way. Amanda's already out of the way at this point. Charging for backline,
Well, I
aiming
don't
directly
know,
for
so.
chanting one. Pulls out two-hander before charging. Okay. Do you have distance to charge? No, not really. Not at your movement rate. Okay. In this case, party dice initiative.
By charging, you know what I mean.
Are you going to ignore the enemies that are between you and your target?
Well, I thought there was only 2 in the front.
You've got one that's right up there with your sister, 2 of them moving up. The big one's the second one in that order. And then you've got 2 more blocking access to the chanter.
Nah, he's not going to. He'll go for the chanting one, but if there's people in his way, he's going to cut them down.
Alright, duly noted.
Rip and tear.
Alright. I wish we could listen to Rip and Tear or something. I need an initiative roll party.
Okay. Du-du-du.
2.
At 2. Okay, party does not have initiative. However, we have a 2 attacker in the form of Amanda throwing daggers at the big one. Amanda, roll to hit.
Oh, there's a big one.
Yeah, about 4 feet tall.
Okay, that's a 16 at first.
Before or after penalties?
That I don't know the penalties, so
I did state you're at -1, so that becomes a 15. And that hits that armor class. However, you've got your own allies providing cover, funny enough, just because of their size and the size of the thing here. So, just to save you from stabbing your ally in the back, you missed. I apologize.
Okay.
It's hard to throw daggers when you've got the 2 bigger people in this small thing. Okay.
We're only an inch. I thought I grabbed the curly fries.
That's a good point, actually. Yeah, you're 5 that. Hold on, give me a second. I might need to reconsider that. That was a
Belchix is 5'2",
15.
so she's the same height as Amanda. And Garrett is only 1 inch taller.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
My bad. However, yeah. Right. Unfortunately, Amanda, even with that adjustment, because that did reduce your penalty because you targeted the big one, that was a miss. Unfortunate for you.
Okay.
Alright, at this point, let's see. We've got Bellatrix going for an attack on the closest one. That's the one attacking you. It's attacking you. You got Garrick grunting and pushing past and going for the back line.
Well, you said she was out of the way, so...
Not really, but you should be able to squeeze by. It will cost you a few seconds.
That's fine.
Alright.
But
Okay.
But I do have longer range than the others, right?
Mm-hmm. In terms of that thing, yes. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. We got 2 more javelins coming on in for... Oops. 2 more javelins coming on in for that. Miss. 15. I think that misses. This, a 15. That will miss. Okay, lucky them. Or lucky you. Okay, so Bellatrix, that's 2 javelins that were aimed at you, but missed. Didn't strike anyone or anything. Garrick, you're moving past. Bellatrix will handle you now. Roll to hit, as this thing is going to roll to hit first.
What weapon does it have?
Short sword. But it's right up with you at this point, because you parried it without disarming it, of course, and now it's there with you.
22.
Hot damn. Alright, 2 points of damage from the short sword. My bad, 3 points of damage from the short sword. They have +1 to damage. And that 22 becomes a 21. I don't think a 21... Yeah, it hits. Dice your damage.
Alright, give me a moment. Since I'm one-handing this bastard sword, I gotta look at the damage.
It is treated as a longsword. D8.
$11 points of damage.
-1 for 10 points of damage as the Mega Kobold tanks it, and no, it's dead. Kijiji. Okay. Moving on to Garrick. He got one of the minions being followed by the big guy coming up to attack you. Are you engaging the minion first, or the big guy?
He's a war dude. He's going to ignore the little guy and go for the big one.
Okay, the little one goes ahead and attacks you. That would hit your armor class.
So you said 3, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry, 3?
For Bellatrix.
Yeah, and that will be 5 for Garrick, as this thing maxes out its damage on that short sword. Alright, at this point, you've got the weapon reach advantage, even though it's a bit unwieldy here, you can, like, stab it forwards type of deal. So Garrick, roll to hit the big guy.
9,
a 9 becomes
third.
8 at third, because of the penalty. Third level, 8 does not hit his armor class.
Damn.
15 as a him. +1 becomes a 16. What's your armor class, Garrick? You're there. Okay. That is sufficient to hit you. For 5 more points of damage. Yikes. That's some good damage they've got.
That's a system shock.
You took 5 before and 5 now. Those are separate. That shouldn't system shock you, should it? How much HP do you have?
I have 16.
You have 16, so none of them have done more than 8. One did 5, the other did 5, but together. If it was 10 together, then yes, but since it's separate, then no.
Okay.
It's only when it's in one attack. Unless you'd like the system shock.
Well, I just assume that's how it's been, because that's how Grills has been doing it.
I
He's
don't
never
think so.
stated it had to be.
But alright, we'll check later with him. Okay, let's see. So you rolled, missed. These guys did their javelins. Chanter is still chanting this round. I believe that's everyone. Have I skipped? Amanda's second attack. Roll a hit. You're still targeting the big one?
Yep.
Okay. Roll a hit.
As a
First level cleric.
that is a 16 at first level cleric, already with the penalty.
Already with the penalty. Okay, 16 at first cleric. Cleric, 1, 16. Normally hits that. With penalty hits that. Dice your damage.
Maximum damage, so 4 points of damage. -1, so 3.
Okay, 3 points of damage to the big guy. Hit points there. Okay. He makes that. Okay, good. Well, you hit him. He's got that dagger, and ow, that hurt. Whew. Okay, that is it for the round. Give me a second. New round 3.
Oh, we just lost
Dungeon
the
Master
bot.
does Bellatrix have anything in front of her now?
You've still got that kobold you were fighting.
I thought you said I dropped it.
Hold on a second. No, wait, that's right, you did. My bad. Brain. Nope, not at this time.
Right.
Hey, there it is. Dagger throw on the big guy.
The big one.
Big boy.
He gonna die.
Alright. And dice initiative. Alright, party.
I got that
Go ahead.
with a 6.
So throughout this round, the kobolds are going to start fighting more fiercely as this green paint or something painted around their eyes and shit on their bodies starts to glow very dimly.
Fucker.
Okay, so we got
Please
dagger
tell me you
throw.
didn't fuck with these.
Oh, would I ever fuck with kobolds?
There's literally 3 of us here.
Yeah, there's 3 of you here. Why would I fuck with kobolds? I would be so mean to do that. So, at this point, we've got 2 daggers, 2 attacks, one coming a little bit later, and the kobolds. We got the kobolds doing that. Okay, Amanda, roll the hit.
Okay. Natural 20.
Dice percentage, and take your XP.
Yeah.
E.
Oh,
Piercing.
shit. Fuck,
What?
my dice fell.
Aw.
My dice fell. Ot 1.
Triple damage. Dice for damage.
Okay. 8 points of damage total.
Alright, -1 becomes 7, and the big guy goes down.
No, that was with the -1.
What did you roll? You rolled a
3.
9. Oh, you rolled a 3 tripled. Okay. My bad. Okay, well, the big guy goes down regardless. That extra point of damage really didn't do jack. Okay, yep, Chanter be chanting. Yeah. Okay.
Garrick would like to change his target.
At this point, you can change your target with an initiative penalty, Garrick. Poor Bard
I
has
mean,
died.
but my dude just died, though.
Yeah, no, but the point is, like, you were getting ready to swing, attack, and oh, dagger, down, dead. So you can attack, but you'll have a slight initiative penalty.
I mean, I still have range.
You'll still get your attack, and it's just slightly later. So what are you doing now, Garrick?
Attacking the others that's coming up.
There's one that's by you, the small guy you ignored, and there's two of them that have their things, and they're about to chuck their javelins. Funny enough.
I'm going for them.
Okay, going for them, and behind them is the cleric dude. Okay. Speaking of which, that will hit. That will not. Garrick, you will catch a javelin for 2 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the javelin throw done. They're, at this point they've thrown their javelins. They're grabbing their spears to try and set to receive you, but since they already did their javelins, they don't really get that this round. Cleric behind them chanting, and he's becoming more frantic, it seems like, as the big one went down. What else have we got here? Let's see, second dagger throw is still incoming onto the chanter for the second one. I like it. Bellatrix, you may roll to hit.
17 at 3rd level.
17 at 3rd becomes a 16 at 3rd. Will hit, dice your damage.
Watch their name be Steve.
Would I ever?
You would.
It's actually Jim, but yeah, I would.
For 10 points of damage, and that is subtracting the 1.
Nice. You will kill them. They swung at you and came very close, but they did miss. So that's that one there. That was 11 points of damage, becomes like that, yeah. Okay. So we got the two over there. They've expended their javelins at this point. They've got shields and swords and spears. These guys just had swords and shields. We've got Chanter, who is chanting. And let's see, we got Garrick going to attack that, and Amanda's second thing. So Garrick, why don't you go ahead and roll to hit? Garrick, why don't you dice your
21.
damage?
Left
or right?
Well, I was going to do a sweeping.
Oh, did you state sweeping? I'll allow it. Well, actually, no, you already rolled the thing and you didn't say sweeping. I'm sorry. That would be cheesy. So left or right?
Right.
Okay, dice your damage.
I gotta look at my damage.
1d10 plus your thing minus blah blah. Yeah, that will kill them.
Damage.
Yeah. Like that outright kills that one. Yeah, the other guy, the one with the spear and shield up at this point, his eyes go buggy and he lets out some small screaming noise and he is trying to run. I will allow you a roll to hit Amanda and Garrick, should you choose to do parting shots.
Yes.
Okay, duly noted.
Can we go ahead and do them?
Yeah, sure, roll to hit.
18.
14.
Okay, the 18 will hit, the 14 probably hits too, let's be real here. He's fleeing.
I mean, he is fleeing, so he'll have, and he showed us his back, so.
For 3 points of damage. Minus 1 from the chant, so 2.
Okay. Let's see, 2 points of damage on him, and Garrick, why don't you go mop him up?
Ah, bitches.
He's a smear on the floor.
Yep. So that one's a smear on the floor, and the cleric stops chanting with those things. The green paint that was on his body as well glows very brightly green and winks out, as does the paint on the rest of the bodies that was also still glowing, and I believe I forgot to mention. What is the party doing now?
Is he gone?
He collapses. The cleric, that is.
Decapitate its head.
Okay, you go to cut off his head. Amanda, why don't you give me a perception check?
Okay. I don't like where this is going, but okay.
You should.
Pass by 2.
Pass by 2. So, Garrick, you're cutting off his head. Bellatrix, what are you doing at this point?
I never said it was Garrett.
No, who's cutting off the head?
It would have been Beltrix.
Okay, Garrick, what are you doing?
Binding my wounds.
Okay, you will get a hit point restored. And give me just a second here. What's a good thing for this? Yeah, sure, why not? Amanda, you will perceive, as you're in the back throwing daggers, but Bellatrix and Garrick will not, as they were in front, and past Jim, as Jim's body glows brightly green, and he starts to, like, swell. What are you doing, Amanda?
Okay, screaming out for Garrick and Bellatrix to look out as the big one is
Trying to go
as
boom.
the big one is swelling, and she is moving back, not wanting to be the one to find out if this thing's going to fucking explode or not.
Okay, so you're moving back. You called out to Bellatrix and Garrick. Bellatrix, Garrick, you will make your perception checks pretty much automatically here. Really, I should be a dick, but make a check. And yeah, this body is twitching and expanding, and what are you two doing?
Hightailing it to the other side of the room. Trying to hide behind whatever's there.
Okay. Well, guys, the corpse opens its eyes. They are solidly greenlit at this point and gets up. And at this point... Oh, that's not good. Yeah, Amanda, it points itself in your direction and picks up that short sword, and it's a bit taller now. It's maybe 5.5 feet. And there's like this green light shining under its skin, and it's frothing at the mouth, and it's going to attack you.
5'6". What's 20% of 5'6"? That's roughly.
Dice initiative and find out.
But
I'm said that. Never mind. This is okay. Okay. 3.
I rolled a 3.
Basically, a half a foot plus another tenth of a half is 10. Yeah, basically an extra half foot. You could pump him up to about 6'1".
I was hoping I could get him to the point where, like, he really couldn't move, but sadly he could not.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Okay, so he's coming at me. Fine.
So I will need actions. Throwing the dagger while attempting to move away. Okay.
Amanda's in his mind is quite literally just fuck, shit, no, don't, shit.
Okay, Garrick, you will spend the majority of this round running back to get there. Okay. Bellatrix, after you crossbow it, what are you doing?
Picking up my sword and shield and chasing.
Okay. Alright, in that case, Bellatrix, it shouldn't take you that long there. Amanda, yeah, you're trying to go through this small thingy, and this thing's coming right on after you. What'd you get for initiative?
I got a 3.
A 3. Roll to hit with your dagger, and Bellatrix roll to hit with your crossbow.
Okay.
5 at first.
5
That's
at
a miss.
first. Yeah, that will be a miss.
Okay. That is
How big was the chamber?
a 14 at first.
A 14? Oh, fuck, man. Just missed.
How big was the chamber?
So the section that the big guy's in, or like the section that you guys are in
The
now?
chamber.
You're in essentially a
Well-
hallway about 7 to 8 feet tall, maybe 5 or 6 feet wide at its widest.
How long is it then?
Long?
you say-
About 60 feet or so.
Wouldn't Garrett be able to clear that easily?
60 feet. If you have a movement rate of... What are you wearing again? Chainmail armor? It's not too heavy. So you have a movement
Yeah.
rate of 12 normally. That's 12 tens of yards. That's 180... hold on. 12, 120 times 3, 360 feet. So yeah, no, you will get your attack in. It's just later this round, and this thing is closer to Amanda. So attack order should be as I predicted, but you
yeah,
have a good
I'm
point
just
there.
making sure.
Okay. So, Amanda, yeah, you just missed. Like, it literally struck against this thing's hide and dropped. Not in the sense that it's immune, but in the sense that you rolled one stop too low. Anyway, it goes to attack.
Just like
And it misses. There's a lot of muscle behind that swing now as it stabs its sword through the tunnel next to you, but misses.
I have a question though. The tunnel's only 5 feet. The thing is
Yeah,
5
no,
foot
so
6.
you're backing up into it, and it can't quite squeeze itself through. Hence why I missed. Amanda, are you continuing to back up at this point, or are you stopping here?
yes.
Which one?
Trying to get far away from this giant kobold as possible, but still close
Okay.
enough to where I can throw daggers.
Okay, so you're gonna keep backing up in that deal. Okay, so it tries to reach you for a little bit. Garrick, you're approaching from behind. You see the strike. It gives up and turns towards you as you get towards it. Roll to hit.
Five at third.
5 at third is not gonna hit it, unfortunately. I am sorry. Alright, Bellatrix, you'll fire your crossbow. I believe we already
Thank
rolled
you.
for that, and then you'll get your sword and shield and move on up. You'll be behind. So Garrick, you're in direct melee with it. Bellatrix, come up behind this round. Party dice initiative for round 5. Amanda, like literally at the tail end of it, but I'll allow it. You can throw a dagger. My bad. This should be round 4.
Thank you.
So go ahead, roll the hit.
That's not one. Yeah. I rolled a natural 1.
Yeah, dice percentage.
17.
17 with the thrown
Roll
melee.
7.
Miss off balance, penalty 4 to AC, no dex bonus to AC, next attack at -8 to hit. Keep that in mind. Okay. Did I get an initiative roll yet?
I figured Amanda would since she was the one in jeopardy.
At this point, Garrick, it's turned its attention to you, but either of you can roll it.
Alright,
Throw. Okay, Amanda, your first throw will be at -8.
4.
4.
Okay.
Party has initiative tied. Roll the hit, Garrick. Huh. This thing rolled a 3.
7
You
at
rolled.
third.
7. Oh no. I'm getting flashbacks, man. That's a miss, unfortunately. Bellatrix coming up a little bit later. Roll to hit.
17 at third.
Heyo! Dice your damage. Versus man-sized.
9.
9 points of damage. Nice. It takes that damage and screams this unholy scream. Amanda, I almost forgot about you. Do your 2 throws. First one's at -8.
-8. That would be an 8 at first.
After the penalty? Rip.
After the penalty, yes.
Alright, unfortunately that's a miss. Roll your second attack.
That's not much better. That's a 13 at first.
Oof. Unfortunately that's a miss. Round 5. Gong. Now, I'm pretty sure Bellatrix, Garrick, you all are attacking.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, okay, so Amanda, are you throwing your last 2 daggers that you should have at this point?
No.
Well then, let me know what you're doing. And let's see an initiative roll. Staff sling and attacking. Alright, duly noted, Amanda.
I'll roll. with a 2.
Okay. Party, you don't have initiative. Garrick, it's still swinging at you. It got a 2. Bellatrix, Garrick, Amanda, roll to hit.
15 and 17.
Both of that should hit. Dice your damage.
That is a 20 non-natural.
Okay, go ahead and dice your damage too, Amanda.
16 from Garrett.
Ooh, yeah.
5 points of damage.
Nice.
13 from Belfort.
The monster, as you all strike it at mostly simultaneous times, is at negative 23 hit points. It dies horribly, screaming as y'all wail into it, stabbing and thrusting and hitting, and it is dead. Down goes the not really a giant, but amongst kobolds he would be a titan, as Jim the giant kobold falls.
At this point, Bellatrix and Garrick, may I please get a percentage of your HP?
Of course, but first, Beltrick would like to bind her wounds.
Go ahead and bind your wounds. Wait, Bella, didn't you already do that, or?
I got hit again. I have a new wound.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, mark up your hit points and mark off your bandages.
And then I
yeah.
would use my diet
Ion
light
hands.
for light wounds. Yeah. 2.
XP calc. Plus.
Garrick will also use his cure light wounds, which comes me up to that. And I had already binded my wounds, but I didn't get hit, so I don't have to worry about that.
Alright. Well, the bot is just dying. I feel sorry for it. Alright, I don't need this anymore, so I can close that out. Alright, dice it.
Grab my D8. You are healed for 3 points, Garrick. Cast
Duly
it
noted.
again. I will cast it again on Garrick if you're okay with that, Double M.
Yep, sure, I'll allow it.
And 8 for the next one.
He is 100%.
Nice.
Okay. And I'll put the final one on Bellatrix real quick.
Alright, dice it.
With 7 HP.
Alright, that
She
puts
is
us...
also at 100%.
Alright.
Okay.
GG, y'all. Well, y'all did that. I decided it was time to switch out to the new dice. I've already used this color before. The last hour of Sessions dice are sponsored by the color green. Okay, what is the party
Right.
doing at this time?
And covering my 8 daggers that I threw.
Okay, did you keep track of which were hits and which were misses?
I did.
Good. So for the ones that were hits, roll a saving throw versus, blow. That if it gets 1 through 5, it fails. 6 or better, it succeeds. For the ones that miss, you should find them without difficulty.
Okay, so I lost. And I am ready to continue with Bellatrix and Garrick on.
Alright. Bellatrix, Garrick are typing.
Is that in English?
Is the ground stone or is it dirt?
Stone.
Are there any pebbles nearby or big pieces of rock?
Yeah, you'll find some pebbles of some kind.
Big pieces of rock.
How big are we talking?
Enough to hold up a torch.
Hold up a torch. Like what, you pin a torch against the wall?
No, I was going to take some rocks and place them around a torch to keep it upright.
Let me check. Yeah, you'll
Garrick
find
is-
some rocks that can probably do that without too much trouble.
So effectively, Bellatrix is asking, do you need like 45 minutes to get your spells back?
Garrick, are you going after the one that you chucked at the kobolds?
Yes.
That went into the other chamber in the other room, so I'll describe what you see as you approach it, unless you're going to wait for the rest of the party.
I thought we were in that chamber.
Nah, but you're still in the hallway before the chamber, if you will.
Oh, well then, no, that can stay, and I'll just take out another one, light it on hers, and then put it on the ground next to the corpse.
Alright. So, party, what are you doing at this time?
Well, I'm
Right.
waiting for her response.
Yeah. So, Amanda, I need to know what you are doing.
But I also like to point out that his sound, like he was speaking, and then it just cut off, so I don't know if he can hear us.
He could hear us. Okay. 45 minutes for 3 Cure Light Wounds. Alright. You will get those 45 minutes of 3 Cure Light Wounds. Bellatrix, give me a perception check, because you're the one keeping watch. Although Garrick is also probably going to keep watch.
Yeah,
so.
he's also there.
Alright, so both of you give me perception checks.
3 and 17, Garrick failed.
You perceive a rat. You hear it like scuttling around, and you look over, and it looks at you. And what are you doing?
Leaving it be.
All right, well, it squeaks and runs into a little hole in the wall.
So I am unsure if Bellatrix would have said some sort of prayer after killing the things they've killed. I
Well,
don't know.
what do you think? Would the god of death, and this isn't me being rhetorical or an asinine, this is me asking you, DM to DM, help me add flavor to my world. Would you think that would make sense to have a prayer for dead enemies that you have slain in proper combat?
Well, your death god is different from my death god, so...
No, I'm asking you to help me establish canon. What do you think? Should they do that?
I mean, I assumed they were, since,
Alright.
natural death and all that, but I'm not sure, which is why I asked.
Well, no, this is me using you to make content for my world. So yes, Bellatrix, congratulations. Take 1 XP for helping me establish something in my world. As you will, I assume, take the time to say the proper rites of, hey, you were monsters and we killed you, but you still lived, and now you're dead. Praise be, Lord Dactarine.
Yeah.
Let me add that to the cleric thingy. That's great.
So, how many bodies are there now since we've slain them?
Give me just a second. Dactarine, blah, 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 blah. Say prayer for dead you killed. Period. Alright, it's canon. Now, how many bodies? Give me a second. Yep, I already destroyed them. Give me a second. XP calc. Alright, so you had 4 kobolds. That might make that 5 kobolds of the normal build, and then the big guy whose body is kind of malshapen and deformed but did shrink down after you killed him. Well, but the parts of him that weren't completely destroyed when you brought him down to -23.
Alright, so he's just a bloody chump on the
Yeah,
ground.
basically.
Alright, so a total of 6.
Yep. 2 for
So,
each member of the party, and no, I didn't get that. I just rolled the d8 and got 6.
okay. Hmm. Okay. So there should be, what, 6 shields,
You will
6
recover
short swords?
2 spears, 4 shields, and 4 short swords. Oh, make that 5 short swords. The big guy had one.
Okay.
Now, the spears are only about, call it 5 or 6 feet in length. They're not very big. In fact, make that 5.
Dungeon Master,
Mm-hmm.
may I do something?
I don't know, may you?
Okay, I'm gonna type this out.
Alright.
How long are these spears again?
Call it about 5 feet.
Okay.
Makes sense, kobolds being 3 or 4 feet. Ha ha ha. Alright, so Amanda, you're currently studying, and I'm waiting to see what Bellatrix is doing as she types in actions. Actions. Oh man, Bard had a good streak going, but now it's stopped again. Take one of the shields, put it between them, facing down with the arm straps face up. Take out some I assume rope, and begin to
Rope.
tighten the... Okay. You should be able to make a makeshift stretcher and put the short swords on it.
In case there's loot, we now have a way to transport it.
Nice. Okay. Is the party doing anything else special during the 45 minutes that Amanda needs?
No, that probably should have taken me at least half that time to make this thing.
Oh, definitely, yeah, but it's 45 minutes. You got time.
Yeah.
So, Amanda, you will conclude the 45 minutes at... Give me a second.
Do the short swords have scabbards? Or
Yeah,
no?
they have scabbards.
Alright. Well, then I might actually use the scabbards and put them underneath the shields.
Alright,
Well,
the point
with
being
the
you should
sword.
be able to do it, yeah.
Yeah. I'm using the swords with the scabbards as a reinforcement
That
underneath it. So.
torch that was good for that much is out now. Okay. So, at this point, party, Amanda, you will conclude your prayer studies, put away your field manual. What are you doing at this point? Alright. So are you all moving forwards?
Is she done?
Do you see in character chat?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we'll begin moving.
Okay. Well, the passageway that y'all are in, now that you have the leisure of not being attacked by monsters, is about 100 or so feet long. It does start to widen up towards the end to be about 8 or so feet wide and 10 or 12 or so feet tall. Now, Garrick, Bellatrix, you caught glimpses of this, but just for the sake of roleplay, so you all see it again for the first time, you didn't really catch a glimpse of the room that this leads to because you were focused on the thing that you thought was going to explode. It did not. So, at this point, y'all will see for the first time, totally, this room. It is a circular chamber about 60 or so feet across from one end to the other. In the center is this pool of water. The pool of water kind of glows this light blue. Think like crystal clear waters in like the Bahamas and such. It's very beautiful looking. This type of glowing moss or something, this lichen, is growing around on the walls and such, giving the whole chamber this kind of glowy feel. And yeah, Bellatrix, Garrick, I don't recall if I gave this description or not, but for everyone that was present, which is everyone, then yeah, this may or may not be the spring with the magic water that you seek.
Bellatrix will last for 5 minutes to put in, how long it was inside the cavern and, updating map, Dungeon Master.
Okay. So Bellatrix, you break out the map to start updating. Amanda, yeah, Bellatrix, you realize you kind of veered south a little bit there and blah, 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 blah. Well, not veered south, but veered east a little bit there, so the return trip will be faster now that you have a direct route. Amanda, you go ahead and go on up to this pool. You take out the goblet, and you notice that, yeah, the pool, it's not natural stone. It's made of whatever the same kind of material that the chalice is. Now you're filling it up? Alright, so you, kind of kneel down so you can go ahead and pour some of the stuff in, and you swear you can almost hear humming from the pool. You dunk the chalice in and pull it out, and there's indeed this water inside of it now. And as you watch, the chalice changes. It's like a lid's been put on it as this stone seems to grow out of nowhere to provide a cover. And this chalice is now sealed. Or so it appears. I would give her soul to be here right about now.
Because I would give a lot of things.
So what is the party doing at this point as Bellatrix, you'll write down the map?
Is there anything else left here to see, or no?
I mean, you've got the spring. There's still water in it.
But I meant, like, is there any other exits, doors, stuff like that?
Alright, so you're looking around. You will notice that it feels like the place isn't glowing as brightly as it was a little bit earlier. Amanda, where are you putting that chalice, by the way? Like, are you just stowing it in your pack, or do you have somewhere specific you're doing, or are you cupping it between your hands and holding it close to your chest? Holding it. Okay. Okay, yeah, Bellatrix, you look around for a bit, and I forgot to generate if these guys had treasure. I'm a genius. Give me 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, 5 seconds. Because I remember what treasure type these guys are. This is the player's handbook. That would probably help if I was in the right book. Treasure type Q. 40% chance that. Okay, so they have... Nope. 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 Really? Hey! Okay, how many? Fucking grip. You will see a singular gemstone inside the pool. Bellatrix.
Alright, duly noted. She will cautiously reach in to grab it, and then look around to see if anything happens.
Alright, well, you reach in and grab it, and I want to make a Indiana Jones and what's it called reference here, but we're just gonna keep moving. You know, you're like, hold on, let me get a similarly shaped and weighted rock and switch it out, but no. You put it in. Your skin kind of tingles as you dunk your hand in there, but the
Duly
sensation fades briefly, shortly thereafter. And yeah, it's a gem of currently unidentified value and type, unless you'd like me to identify it now.
No.
Okay. Now, another thing you saw, which I keep forgetting about, is that the kobolds obviously had, like, some food pits and some shit that they lived in, and it's like, there's nothing of value there unless you're a kobold living in a shit, basically. There's probably even a shit corner somewhere. So, what's the party doing now?
Heading back.
Heading back. Alright, same formation as before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure, Amanda. What kind of vial are you using for it? Like, is this just a standard vial that you bought in the shops? Standard. Okay. You will scoop up a vial of the water. Mark it up on your character sheet. Alright. Anyone doing anything else?
Mm-mm.
Okay. In that case, I take it y'all are heading out. Okay. So, party heading out at this time. Okay. Well, party, y'all will make it outside of this cave after a bit of, crawling and squeezing and getting out. Yeah, the kobold-sized tunnel was not a great spot for bigger than kobold-sized things, but y'all make it work. So, what are y'all doing at this point?
Heading back.
Heading back. Most direct route based off of your intel, I take it?
Mm-hmm.
Okie dokie. That is that many miles as a direct path. And you've got perfect memory, so it should be pretty straightforward. Okay. How fast is the party moving? How fast is the party moving?
Mile and a half.
Mile and a half, okay. Okay. Well, after traveling for about 4 or so hours, actually give me a second to adjust that because that actually is that many miles, it will be almost nighttime. What is the party doing at this point? Well, as you all travel, you'll start to see the sun start to set in the west, close to evening. And by evening, I of course mean nightfall, so yeah. But this will be after a few hours of travel. Alright, setting up camp as normal.
Night camp.
Okay, so you all set up camp, night falls, and I assume you all are eating at this point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Standard watch schedule? Alright, give me a minute. I did not anticipate this. Ooh, these things are nasty. Yeah, no. Armor class -4, I'm afraid not. This one is pretty nasty. It's got a decent armor class move. Too many hit dice, though. I'm just going to reroll. Yeah, Son of Kaios is a little too strong for the party right now.
Uh-huh. It was like 4 orcs.
4 orcs? Ooh, how about the Prince of Evil Fire Creatures, an elemental Prince of Evil? Yeah, no. Alright, fuck it, checking for a different book.
Alright, well, give me a moment. Ninja just put out an SOS, so I gotta go save him.
Oof. I mean, do we want to end the session here? It's a little bit early, but I'm tired and I ran out of encounters that I rolled up for y'all.
It's up to you.
These things
Well,
are strong.
You know, you could just say no encounter and just let us get that.
Oh, where's the fun in that? That'd be like if wolves didn't attack you every 5 seconds while you were in Skyrim.
That sounds like a personal issue for you. I never had that issue.
Really? You don't have wolves constantly trying to attack you? 1, 2,
No?
3. Huh.
Because I'm always crouching everywhere and I get ignored.
That's a good point. I can't stand to crouch. Someone give me a D3.
Dom, do you have it? Did he roll?
1 die 3. It's fine, I'll do it. Oh, nice.
1.
Nice. Funny enough, that's exactly what I rolled, and that's the nicest thing for y'all. The other variants of this monster are a bit strong, but not insurmountable. I'm not gonna max it out. I'm not a monster. I mean, I am, but, Okay, so y'all are gonna get that campfire going. Who's on watch first?
Well, I assume we just settled down, so this is after eating, or what?
Like, y'all settle down, eat, get the watch going. Actually, hold on, wait, that's right, you'd
Amanda.
still be eating now. Okay, well, as y'all are eating, y'all can give me a round of perception checks. Okay. Nice. Everyone, you made your perception checks. You will see from the north. From the north, as the sun is starting to fall, but you've still got enough light to work with your normal visual senses, there is a creature approaching the campsite. Roughly, it's snuffling at the air. It is a bear. It is a fair bit of a ways out, maybe 300 yards, like 900 or so feet. Like it just popped up over the hill, sniffing at the air in your general direction. What is the party doing?
The twins will go for the crossbows. Oh, wait, no, they didn't reload. Never mind, can't do that. They will reach for their weapons.
Okay, you will pause your eating and get your weapons. Amanda, what are you doing?
And Beltrix is going to two-hand this thing.
Okay. Okay. Garrick, do note in character chat. And assuming no one does anything, we got like a round passing by.
Garrick will nod his head.
So, Amanda, are you casting? Okay, Amanda, you begin casting. Enlarge has a one-round casting time, I believe, or perhaps it was a few segments. Regardless, you
One
will
segment.
one segment. Nice. You will get your enlarge spell off. Garrick, are you resisting the sudden rush of magic?
No.
Okay, in that case, you are enlarged. You are casting that still at first level because you're literally not capable of being a sorcerer as a first level yet. So you're just a magic user at this point. So, that is at this time. It lasts for 10 minutes, if I remember correctly, per level of the caster. Ayo, 6'3", still man-sized. Alright. Huh, that's funny. Okay, so Garrick, you are enlarged. Is anyone doing
Which
anything
means
else at this time?
no.
Okay.
Waiting to see if it notices.
Alright. Oh, yeah, the creature definitely noticed y'all, and it's sniffing the air and looking at y'all. And it starts wandering away to the, It's coming at y'all from the north, so probably to the east. Kinda southeast-ish. Is the party doing
Oh.
anything as this thing continues to meander and roam?
Nope. If it's going to go, we shall allow it.
Well, Garrick, I assume you guys are keeping your eye on it until it disappears?
Yes.
Alright, well, the 10 minutes will pass, Garrick, and, yeah, you will return back to normal size. And, I did not anticipate that. Give me a moment, guys. There's another encounter. Interesting. Okay, yeah, you will return to normal size, and this thing will either wander off into the brush and you'll lose sight of it, or the darkness follows it up as night falls upon Denalia. Alright, what's the party doing at this point?
The twins are going to bed after doing their nightly prayers.
Hmm.
And Amanda is up for first watch.
Nice. Struck only by +1. Nope. Ooh, interesting. But I don't feel like killing the party. Alright. Well, yeah, y'all are gonna finish up your food and get the watch set over to bed. And I'm just looking really quickly. 68. What even is that? Ooh, Hive Brood. Yeah, let's use that. I swear, I never have enough encounters rolled up. Well, I mean, I do, it's just that they're too powerful for the party. Huh. Nope. Alright, you know what? I'm feeling tired. I'm not gonna fast travel you all to the thing, but you all will manage to skip this encounter as the slightly oversized bat flies around, and y'all either don't notice it or don't give a shit. Is that good with everyone?
Yep.
Yay. Alright, in that case, I am gonna call session here. End of session. GG, everyone.